Are you excited to grow your business? If you're anything like me, you want to do all the things. Sign up for the newest training, try new marketing ideas, test the newest software, invest in new equipment, and the list goes on and on. So what happens when you want to do it all, but you feel paralyzed by questions and the stories in your head? Can I afford it? Can I take on debt to fund my growth? How do I even find funding? How do you as a business owner make these big decisions without getting paralyzed by fear or overwhelm? You're listening to Business by the Books, the podcast that teaches you how to use your financials to manage your business. My name is Danielle Hayden, CPA, CEO, and founder of Kickstart Accounting Inc., where we use bookkeeping as a vehicle to help business owners take control of their numbers. And I've helped thousands of entrepreneurs make informed financial decisions for over a decade. Today, we're diving into a vital question: how to use debt for investments and to pursue new opportunities. We're going to determine when to take on debt, recognizing and embracing the money mindset types and how it affects your spending, and the step-by-step process to find funding. I also have some tough love for all you amazing entrepreneurs. You guys know me. I like a no bull or fluff approach to business. So if you're ready to understand if you should use debt and how to use debt in 2024, then stick around to this episode of Business by the Books. Now, I'll never forget when my client, who was historically a service provider, was seeing one-to-one patients, decided that she was ready to invest in her opportunity to serve one-to-many. She was creating and developing a series of videos that would be able to be purchased on demand with a subscription for new videos on an ongoing basis. Now, there was a heavy investment for my client. She needed to purchase the equipment. She needed to decide if she would be the one recording the videos or if she'd pay somebody to help her record them. She needed to pay for video editing. And let's not forget, she needed to update her website, change her point of sale system to allow for this new product, and market the product. This was a huge investment for my client, but she was so excited. I could see it in her eyes that she was committed to the success of this new offering. Now, how does our money mindset play into this? And I'll tell you how her money mindset played into her decision. There's 4 types of money mindset. We have our keepers, our free spenders, our perfectionists, and our balance seekers. Now, you'll know which one you fall in, but if you want to go and take the quiz to find out for sure, you can go to kickstartaccountinginc.com/quiz and find out your money personality type. Now, our perfectionist loves to know where every single dollar is going in and out of their business. It is absolutely exhausting as a perfectionist because they want to know everything, right? It's really difficult to plan for the future, and it's very difficult to manage those times where you are taking risk as a perfectionist. Our free spender loves to spend money and invest. Free spenders often are chasing the next quick fix or opportunity without really giving much thought to their numbers, where they've been, or where they're going, aka our budget. Our free spenders want to invest, and they want to invest now. Our keepers, I have a special place in my heart for my keepers, want to save as much money in their business as possible. And no matter how much they save, they never really feel like it's enough. Now, our keepers will say things like, I don't actually take owner's draws or pay myself. I invest everything back into my business. But when I ask, what are you investing in? They're not really sure how they're investing their money. So it's very difficult for our keepers to actually invest their dollars into new opportunities like we're discussing, because they want to keep that money for a rainy day. Their money mindset story says that they need to have those dollars close to the chest in case they need them. And no matter how much they save, it never really feels like enough for them. Now, our balance seeker is somebody who is really trying to find the balance between. They know they don't have to have it all figured out, that they can use the experts, the tools, and the strategies in order to be able to look backwards analytically and to be able to try their best to plan for the future. Our balance seeker is really trying to find the balance between risk and reward. Now, I tell you that story because I really want you to understand what your money mindset is and how you can approach your financial decisions, knowing what your money mindset is. Now, I'm going to pause here. I was recently interviewed for another podcast, the Female Empowered Podcast by Krista Gurka. Krista is an amazing entrepreneur and friend. She has been a guest and she will be a returning guest back on the show. But I want to pause for our conversation where Krista shared a little bit about her money mindset story and how it affects how she approaches her business decisions and debt.
The question that you said about what's wrong with staying where you are without growing. Yeah. Okay. I don't operate like that. As an individual, I have a really hard time staying in place. And to me, if I have a wait list, my thought process is it's leaving money on the table. And it feels weird to me as a business owner. So this kind of got off topic a little bit, but I would say if you asked me that and I'd be like, no, but I can't just stand still.
So I would push back on you
that
maybe you should stand still.
Yeah.
Right? Are we adding another reformer because we want to keep up with somebody down the street? Are we adding another reformer because we think, air quote, we should? Do we think that we should add the reformer because we didn't grow last year and we like to see hockey stick growth? Everything I just said is ego.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
That's all ego. Like I have people who are on a wait list in my door and I have to make space for them. Well, maybe you don't. Like maybe the act is staying where you are and servicing the people you have in here really, really well.
Yeah.
So I don't want anyone to take on debt because they feel like they should, or they got ants in their pants and they just can't stay put. And now look, this is from somebody who, my 2024 vibe is peace and calm because I am like a chicken with its head cut off all the time. And my team has to tell me no all the time. I want to do everything and I want to do it yesterday. I have a million new ideas. But do you know what we've done for 9 years? Is bookkeeping for business owners via the snapshot. Now, I had a million other add-ons that we could do. I have a million things that we could be doing for clients. I want to solve the world, but I am intentional that we do this and we do it really freaking well. And I don't have to solve everyone's problems. I don't have to solve your entire business. I have to solve this one problem. Now I'm just using my business as an example for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to take on debt if you don't want to.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's a really good way to look at it. That is a really good way to, because a lot of it is so many of us as high achievers, like you said, are like visionaries and we have these ideas and we can't take our foot off the gas pedal. And so I think it's great to be able to have someone else just kind of saying, we could do this, but do we have to do this?
Now, it's really important for us to know what our money mindset is before we think about whether or not we're going to take on debt. Because I know that you as a business owner, you have amazing goals, opportunities, and you wouldn't be thinking about this investment unless you really wanted to, right? Unless you were passionate about this investment, whatever it might be for you in your story. So your homework is to take the money personality quiz and then take some time to reflect on how it's impacting the way that you make decisions and the way that you're approaching debt. Once you have determined that you are ready to pursue the next opportunity in your business, I want to talk through the options for funding. Now, as business owners, we have a lot of options for funding. If we're purchasing equipment, we do have equipment financing options. If we're not purchasing equipment, then we need to look elsewhere, right? When we're buying new equipment, our vendor, our provider usually has equipment financing that we can do for 0% interest for 12, 18, 24 months. So that is for our new equipment. If we're looking for funding for other investments, we can look at things like our SBA loan. Online lenders such as Cabbage, PayPal, Stripe, QuickBooks, American Express is what we use. There's also grant opportunities. We find that this is the number one underutilized strategy. Yes, it takes time to find the grants that are available for you in your state. However, this is money provided by your state to small business owners, especially as women. There is opportunity to get free money in order to reinvest back in your business for growth. There's also investment opportunities such as crowdfunding from your community and Honeycomb. Now, I saved the easiest for last. Our credit card options are our easiest. Now, credit cards are not our cheapest. Credit cards often run about 25% interest. So if you're going to use credit cards to fund a new opportunity, I encourage you to look for a 0% interest credit card that you can then use to pay off over the next 12 to 18 months. Now, some people like Krista, she really prefers to stay out of debt. She came out of college with so much student loan debt that she really feels like she wants to use cash in order to stay out of the debt trap. Now, her and I discussed that I actually feel the exact opposite. Because of the stories that have happened to me and the things that have happened in my childhood, I actually really want to keep those funds. I am a keeper. I know when to invest, but I prefer to have the money in my checking account and then be able to pursue reasonably interest debt options for me personally and in my business. But see how knowing what your money personality type is allows you to find the balance between what you're going to have in savings and what you're going to take on in debt. Debt is not a dirty word. We do not have to avoid debt. Gone are the days of Dave Ramsey and the stories that we need to tell ourselves that we have to stay out of debt. Debt can be one of the greatest ways to fund new opportunities. We'll get back to the show in 1 second, but real quick, are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed by your finances? Do you find yourself wishing you had more control and understanding over your money? Managing your business finances can often feel like navigating a ship through a storm without a compass. But what if instead you could master your business finances in just 5 days? With the confidence to manage your money, make informed decisions for financial stability, and implement strategies to increase your profitability effortlessly. And that's exactly why the 5-day video bootcamp was created. It's a comprehensive course designed to empower you with the foundations for financial success. Throughout the bootcamp, you'll learn the foundations, how to manage costs for profitability, evaluate investments for growth, and avoid common financial pitfalls. So if you're ready to take charge of your financial journey and rewrite your success story, head over to esuite.co/5-day bootcamp or click the link in the show notes and sign up for the bootcamp today. Okay, back to the show. Now, our last option for funding is savings, right? We can create an investment account that you always contribute to. So every month, maybe you contribute a portion of your profits to a savings account that can then be used for future investments. Again, if you're anything like me, I don't know when a new idea is going to strike. I have new ideas. I'm a true visionary through and through. So for me, when new ideas come, I need to be able to either pull from that savings account or pull from my funding opportunities so that I can pursue those opportunities and options for investments. So savings might be a strategy for you if you have the time and space to be able to start investing. So how do you proceed? Where do you go from here? All right, once you've determined that you have this amazing opportunity, where do you go? Step 1 is to determine the amount that you need to be funded. Now, this isn't a traditional budget. A traditional budget is where we just sit down and actually plan out the next 12 months in our business. What are our sales? What are our expenses? And how are those expenses going to help us hit our goals? But this is really what accountants call a capital budget. This is funding a new opportunity or new equipment that's going to have new revenue attached to it. So this really requires you as a business owner to sit with your CFO or to sit with yourself to actually plan out how this investment is going to make money. So how do you do that? It sounds so fundamental, but you write a business plan. You go back to the basics. Think about when you first started your business. This is the process that you will use to think through how you will use the equipment or the new expenses and what will be the impact on your business. Now, if you're doing this on your own, there are softwares out there such as LivePlan, where you can then use LivePlan to build out these scenarios. If you're a Kickstart Accounting Inc. client, you can add a budget or CFO services where we can run these scenarios with you. Not done for you. This is definitely done with you. Now, the last step is to make sure you can pay it back. You have to create a budget or a quick analysis to ensure that you have the funds to be able to pay it back. The quick and dirty analysis that I always like to provide is what are your average sales over the last 12 months minus your average monthly operating expenses, minus average draws, minus average debt payments, plus any increases in revenue. Do you have enough cash on average each month to pay back your debt? Really think about that before you make this decision. Do you have enough money to pay back? This is hard work. You cannot just throw this type of decision or analysis into the busyness of day-to-day life. You need to be intentional. My team and I have offsites for this type of work. We clear a few days and get out of the office on a regular basis. I understand running a business is hard, and doing this work is hard. But honestly, that's why not everybody owns a business. You own a business, and you can do the hard work. So my number one advice would be to just make the time. Telling yourself, I don't know how, is really just an excuse. Use simple math to get estimates. Write your plan and then get to work. Here is the tough love. Nobody is coming to save you. You as the business owner need to do the work and make the difficult decisions. Now, I know that sometimes doing this type of work, it just sucks, right? And I get asked all the time, how do you make it not suck so bad? And my answer is you embrace it. You are a business owner. You are in business. That just is. It's the part of owning a business. This is what defines people who succeed and people who don't. You do the work and you embrace it. So this is your homework to decide what are your next opportunities and do you need debt to fund those opportunities? Now, we can take on too much debt as a business owner. I mentioned my client. She did decide to launch her new adventure, and she really believed in what she was doing. And so she went all out in the way that she recorded her videos, her website development, and her marketing. Now, to date, we have not seen that money come back to pay off the full amount of debt. Now, don't worry, she is not losing faith, and I am not losing faith in her either. We have a plan to monitor the amount of debt that she has taken so that we can pay that money back over time. So how do you monitor the debt as a business owner? The debt to income ratio is the best simple KPI that you can use to monitor your debt. Now, this is calculated by dividing the business's total debt payments by total income. This can be done by adding up all of your business debt payments and dividing that amount by the business's total income from all sources. It's a simple KPI, but I do recommend tracking this month over month over month. That way you can see if this number is going in the right direction. In general, a debt to income ratio of 36% or less is considered good for small business owners. This means that a business's debt payments should not exceed 36% of the business's income. However, the ideal debt to income ratio is going to vary depending on you, on the way that you approach your business and the risks that you are willing to take as a business owner. It also is going to depend on the amount of money that you are spending in other areas of your business. If you have high facility costs or high payroll costs, maybe high marketing, then we want to take on less debt in our business to fund future growth, because we have to have enough cash, because cash is always queen in our business, to pay back and to maintain our businesses. This was an action-packed episode, so go and get to work. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We will be back every single week with another episode on how you can use your numbers to manage your business. And if you need help, go to kickstartaccountinginc.com. We are here for you. I have a favor to ask. If you have gotten any value from this show and you want the show to continue to grow and keep providing you with strategies for financial growth and efficiency, simply leave us a rating and review if you're listening on Apple or Spotify. Those reviews really go a long way in attracting more listeners, and honestly, they really make my day. So if you're feeling up to it, we'd love to see a rating and review from you. Either way, thanks so much for listening to the show.